Welcome back to another episode of Armchair Author Chats. I'm your host, Rita Slanina, actress, author, lifestyle content creator, and your shopping bestie. And today we are talking to another phenomenal author. Oh my gosh, I am so grateful to have him on. Combining the magic of words with a passion for storytelling, former protector turned storyteller, currently crafting a series that I'm hoping he'll give us little hints on today. Still gaming and spreading positivity wherever he goes, capturing the depth of human experience with a dash of action. Please welcome Adeshile. Let me bring him on right now from Adeshile Writes. How are you, my friend?
Hello, I'm doing good. Glad to be here. By the way, you look like you have such a cozy nook right there.
Thank you. My husband calls this the West Wing because I will fall asleep here.
Nice, nice, nice. Now, does a chicken every now and then just hop on you or no? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Awesome. That is
In
awesome.
fact, I think it was like a week or last week's episodes or the week before we had a chicken in here, I think. But I had the hubs go get him out of here.
I got you. I got
Those girls, man, they just love the hugs. Have you ever owned a chicken?
We've had chickens. I did not hold the chickens that we've had, but yes, I am aware. They are very interesting creatures, to say the least. They have personalities, surprisingly, very much
This
so.
is what I'm saying. I never would have known if I did not have any chickens. I would have thought
Yeah,
people were
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. They're like dogs. They have their own personality. Should be in stories.
Oh, totally. And I have two chickens that think they're people. Okay, welcome to the armchair.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Give us your book pitch, but do it like you're talking to your best friend who hates spoilers. Now, you can talk about the book you are working on, or you can talk about your recent release of Fury Tale. Up to you.
All right, so I write a lot of stories, so sometimes the mind jumps from different places. So I'll start about the most recent story, even though I have that least crafted in terms of my brain of talking about it, right? But I have it most in the story. So if I'm talking to a friend, this is how I would say, well, you know me, everything that I write has a lot of emotional layers. So let me give you the overall, the surface layer first. We all have that friend that likes to fight against the rules. They're never wrong, when they fight against it, but everyone just looks like, come on, is it that serious? We all have that friend, right? And sometimes they're right about it. And that is the main character in the story that I'm writing. Right now, the working title is Heart of the Forgotten Realm. But character's name is Aaron. Yeah, yeah. So I can go into lots of detail about this, but I don't want to. I'll try to stay on track here. But
Yep,
she
me, you staying on track. I don't see that really going to
Yeah,
happen.
I feel like we need another moderator just in case. Hey guys, we need to keep adulting here. Um, but yeah, so Erin, she's that character. Like she will follow the rules up to a point, and she'll push beyond them, but it's only because it's necessary. So this is a fantasy world, medieval fantasy world. There's magic in the world. She is known as Erin, the she wolf or the swift wolf. She's very fast, very quick, has wind magic, and she's part of a group called the Silver Dawn, and they protect the realm against rift tears. So there are tears that you can walk through into another realm.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh, is this like string theory, time space continuum stuff? Because I'm in.
there's a little multiverse in there. There's a little multiverse in there. There's a little bit. There's a little bit in there. So
Oh, I love that.
there's so so part of what I want to do with this story is really start talking about like why is there this other realm here. But
Alert from software
oh,
update.
my computer's yelling at me to update. Sorry. Okay. Anyways, so we have this friend. So the Silver Dawn are supposed to protect against the rifts, and well, they are being told to stay outside and not to venture because something strange is going on. She's very upset about that, and so of course she finds a very good reason to go against that. So there's a relic she needs to hunt down, right, to save a kid's life. But that relic might have something more to do with the rifts. And she might encounter a dangerous man who's very interesting to her. Yeah, adventures. So that's the surface level of the story. That's the surface.
I mean, there's so much there to unpack. Like, I'm so in. What's
Appreciate
the
it.
most chaotic way this story has come to you? Dream, shower thought, or total accident?
That stories have come to me. Oh, that's a really good question.
It could even be your most recent or from whichever one. You have a lot of books and stories. You guys,
Thank
the
you.
catalog is and worth it and beautiful. Like you're writing. Okay, I'm gonna stop gushing. I'll let you.
Thank you. So for me, stories, I think stories are abound, and so it's just whatever means we can access them. So my very first story, period, which is still not out in the world, I have to edit it. It has like 160,000 words. It's like fantasy. Yeah, it's just there. But it was my first story, so I'm still learning all the things. Half was written like in first person present. The last half or three quarters is like third person, past tense. So I have to edit on it. But that story itself, I know I just simply went to a prompt generator. I went to Reedsy. I don't know if you guys have ever been there. It's like art. I think I actually have it up here right now. It
R
is
E
Reedsy, Reedsy.com. They have a plot generator. Oh, I just think I lost my tab. They have a plot generator, and I checked that out and started writing a story from it. It so when I think at March, mind you, right now I can't see you read it because I've got to find my tab again. But I
That's
have the
okay.
tab open with a fancy plot generator in front of me, and it just came with an idea of a character, like a character, a one character trait, and what job they have, and then another character and a trait they have, and then a basic plot idea and a twist somewhere in there, and so I say this for people who are interested in writing because it's dear to my heart. Those people who have yet to write, or those people who are stuck. Um, some of us have lots of ideas, and that's great. All it's about sitting down or however you need to get the word out, right? But for some of us, it's like I don't know what kind of story I could tell or how. There are lots of ideas out there, but there are things such as like this plot generator or prompts that you can find in books or whatever that can spark an idea for a story. And the big thing is if you follow that story throughout to see it to its end, you can craft a story. And I mean, that was one of my big things I was excited about showing. Like, hey, you can write, you can write stories, guys. So for me, it might be a prompt or a generator like this here. It could be just an image or a scene I see that gives me an idea. Maybe sometimes like, how can I twist this element in the story differently? But I take in story a lot, so I watch a lot of TV, particularly Japanese animation. I watch a lot of that. I
Oh, my
listen
son
to all
watches a lot
the.
of that. He got me into some of that.
Oh, yes, nice. So I'm always taking in stories. So things, just paying attention, things can give me ideas. Usually, I get an idea when I'm in the shower.
It happens. I love that. I love prompt generators. I love all that kind of stuff. And it's not much different than like you were saying earlier, like from a book. I have a couple of books that have prompt generators, story generators, body text generators within the book that I would take to an in-person writing thing that we do at the library every week. And it was like such a fun thing. Like a lot of the writers in the group are new and real young, and like some of them were teenagers, some of them were college kids, some of them were. We had one 10-year-old who's like all about writing and exciting, and none of them. And then we had some, in older than me, and then we had some our age, same demographic, whatever, different, like all different, right? Everybody's different, and we like some people heard of this book and some people never heard of these kind of prompt generators, and when they saw that we played a game with it,
Really?
so we would do one selection of like the prompt, let's just say, I don't know, construction worker drives to ballet school, and we made it more of a game, make it fun, so that it was just something that we can interact together with to get the juices flowing. So
Nice.
I
I
love
think
this. And
I was just going to say a benefit. You have the benefit of being an actress, so figuring out roles, I think that probably, I mean, I don't know as much, but I'm sure story comes to you naturally. I remember I don't know what it's called, but when a whole bunch of people get together and they just act out random things, I forget what that's called at this point, but improv. That can just generate ideas. It's just like, here's a thing. Okay, yes, and all right, let's build upon it. Yes, and and you keep going. But you as an actress got background for it already.
Well, I feel blessed with that because I had a lot of the training behind it because you have to build the character that's being shown to you. Now, you may get sides for an audition. At this point where I'm at is I might get sides for an audition and I don't really know what this story is even about. So I have to kind of guess.
Oh
I
wow,
have to
okay.
kind of like guess a little bit. And when I do, it's one of those things where I have to go, well, what's the motivation? Is she interacting with someone? Is she not? Is she mean? And where is she going? So I'll actually read the whole uh, script side that they give me, which sometimes it's 2 pages, sometimes it's 30. It just depends on what the project is. And so, yeah, I wouldn't say it comes naturally, the storytelling per se, but definitely understanding character development and how to bring that to life, 100% helpful for sure.
Gotcha. And character development is one of the things that I really like to focus on. Gives the story. Some people are very plot forward, which is fine, which is great. But I want you to see the world through the character's eyes. When you're done reading my stories, I want you to care for that character. I want you to remember that character. I want you, when they cry, you cry. Or when they have the single tear, you're just like, oh my God, what's happening here? And when they laugh, right, exactly. And when they laugh, when they have a moment of vulnerability, you're like, that's so sweet. Look at them. I want you to be right there with the character and have that. And so the plot is still important, but I want you to like, yes, this is my character.
Oh, valuable, valuable tips, you guys. Take notes. He knows what he's talking about. So be honest. Which character would you never want to get into an elevator with and why? One of your characters.
Oh, man, oh man. So that's a really good question. So I will take this from a book that's already out, part of the MoonWatch universe that you're talking about, right? A fairy tale I wrote. That and in short, that book it's urban fantasy, so that means we have vampires, people with magic, all kinds of supernatural creatures. The main group of characters in there have a band, right? But they do that as their Moon Knight job, right? But they also are paranormal mercenaries taking care of issues that, are happening in the world, fighting for peace, basically. But in that group, one of our characters, her official name is Azora, but everyone calls her Boo. And I would not want to be in a layer with her because Boo is like the sweetest person ever. She's great, has a Russian accent, doesn't have much of her memory. It's been lost. They saved her out of some lab, right? Like she's a very skilled warrior, but she has no personal boundaries at all. Like she just doesn't get it. Just doesn't get it. Like, and everyone knows. Like she'll be like right here on your face. It's like, Boo, back up, please. So, and it doesn't help that she sleepwalks. So I shouldn't share this part, but she sleepwalks, right? So one of
It's an
her
Easter
strengths.
egg, you guys.
I'm sorry, I'm giving this part away, and probably because it's one of my favorite parts. So read the book or not. Hopefully, it doesn't ruin it for you. But she has the ability to phase through walls, and she sleepwalks. So it's shenanigans always.
I think that's a middle
Shenanigans.
name, Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. So
Oh dear.
Boo is a sweetheart, love her to death, but like, oh gosh, no. No,
If
no.
anything, it should make you want to read that more because of the fact that she sleepwalks and can walk through walls
Where
and
do you
has
think
no
her nickname
boundaries.
came from? Oh goodness.
I love it. I love it. So, writers, we are a quirky bunch, are we not? What's
Yeah,
your
yeah.
most embarrassing or ridiculous writing habit, if you have any?
Hmm. See, I have a lot of real basic habits, but embarrassing. Ah, I gotta have my coffee. I listen to my music. Um, I guess. Well, this coffee cup is a little dirty right now, but I drink from this coffee cup here. I don't know if you can read it. I'll read it for you if you can. It says, "Coffee owns me, and I'm okay. I'm not okay, but I'm okay with it." So I guess that's the
I
most
love that.
embarrassing thing. I guess that would be it.
There's your
Yeah,
merch right there. That's your merch. If you don't have merch already, that's your merch. I love that. I'll buy one.
I know, right? It is a great cup. It is a great cup. The other half got it for me. I'm like, yep, yeah, we'll roll with that.
I think you have one other writer quirk, and you are, and maybe no one knows this. You probably don't even know this because I anointed it to you. You are the keeper of the list of
The list,
words us writers cannot
yes.
spell words.
No, we cannot. We have a ongoing conversation about this every time we meet. Of like, what word are you struggling with today? I actually have a word to add to the list, guys. Periphery. I have no idea how to spell that. I wonder if I can pull up my document now. It tried to correct it for me, and it was crazy. So if you can't spell as a writer, it's okay. When you can, try to get close to the word, but you don't. It's all right. It's all right. So I when I think sorry, given this opportunity, even though while I'm getting to talk about my books and stuff like that, I really care about talking for other writers who have fear or who just want to start out. And so I kind of speak from there. And one of the things that I want to say to people who are getting into is like, you can find a way around parts that might be weak for you in terms of your skill set. Like grammar's not my strongest skill set, to be honest with you. It's not. But I've worked on it. And the more you write, the better you get at it. And then because we live in the age of the internet of all these wonderful tools, there are things like the Hemingway app, which can help you look at your writing. There are tools like Pro Writing Aid, which I use a lot to really go through my work and pull it apart. There are just so many things out there. If you have access to Microsoft Word, I mean, spell check, etc. Reading through your work, all these things you can do to help, at least if you have issues with grammar or spelling, like I do, or creating a list with words that you're like, I don't know how to spell this. Well, you can write the word down, you can study it. I mean, now, not everyone's going to have issues with like spelling or grammar, but for some people, that could be I can never be a writer because my spelling sucks. I can never be a writer because my grammar is terrible. Like, no, bring to writing your strengths and your experience. I could talk more about that later on, but I don't want to digress us too much.
I love that. And I think that's a valuable point. And even though we have our joke list about the words that we can't spell and make fun of it, it's really a way to bring us all together to be okay that you can't
Yeah,
spell the words. It's not, it should, do not let it hang you up.
yeah,
You're spot on with that, 100%.
yeah. I mean, I've gotten very lucky. I got to meet you. I got to meet SD Houston. And had that. Yes, the community right there. Like the writer community is very, very key. That's awesome. The writer community is very key. I mean, you don't have to engage in it. And I guess if you're watching this, you already are, but maybe you're like me. It was a year, at least a year before I even started to dabble in the writing community, maybe two. And there's just things that writers understand. And even we're not like, oh, what was me? We at least are around. We can make jokes about things like, hey, how my short story ended up being an epic fantasy. Like we can make jokes about that, and it's nice. It's good.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, did your book ever completely betray you? A plot twist, a character rebellion, or a deadline disaster? Whoa.
Yes. So, in so many ways, I guess I already gave the first part away. So, this story was supposed to be the current story I'm working on, which working title Heart in a Forgotten Realm. Um, this was supposed to be a 5,000 word short story. 5,000 words. 5,000, right? 5. It is 115,000 words. Yes. So, yeah. I'm glad I got the words in, right? I'm like, yeah. So, but it's like, that's not what was supposed to happen. And then the main character, she was supposed to be aloof. No, she feisty. She's a very strong, feisty. She might come off aloof to some people, but we get to see her in her element. Like, oh no, you're not aloof. You just know how to talk different ways in front of certain people, and half the time you don't care. So that's why you seem aloof. Ah, I understand now.
Click.
Got it.
There
Yes.
it is.
So I had to write all this character in with her.
That's a good problem to have, though. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
So, what's the one moment on your publishing journey that made you think, "Oh no," or "Ooh, oh yes"?
Okay, I got one from both of those. Oh, a a bad review. Oh, it hurt my heart so much, so much. So this was one of the books that I wrote that it took me a lot of effort to just to put together. I mean, every book can take its own amount of effort, but I was working through this book, right? I was working through this book, and I got
So this one had a special place in your heart. This particular title.
Yeah, and I felt like I might have had some weaknesses that I wanted to work on with that, but a lot of reviews I got were great. They were really good, right? But one review I got was a 3-star review, which is not actually bad. 3 out of 5 stars. It is not bad. They actually said they liked the story, but some of the critiques they had, I was like, ow. And then I asked other people who read the book, they're like, no, it's fine. And so I think the lesson, as painful as that was for me, the lesson I learned was twofold. Okay. Well, if that's an issue, we can work on that. And I fixed it, but it's always something that I'll be mindful of. We all have our weaknesses, right? So, but the other thing was the book may not be for that person, and that's okay. If you have a dozen reviews or whatever amount of reviews, I'm not saying that dozen reviews, but you have several reviews on it, and one person has a problem with it, well, that's just one person, and we're okay to like different things. That's all right. Even if it's in the same genre, a person can write differently. All right, like you can just write differently. You can prefer it or you don't prefer it, and that's okay. That's more than acceptable. That's fine.
Well, and you had all those other positive ones, so it's like I can get where you see the one not so good one, you're just going,
Yeah.
What are they seeing? And we want to obsess on that, and we should focus on all the other good ones we got too. I mean, not that we ignore that negative one. I think we mull it over, see if there's validity. And another word I probably can't spell. And just see how that's in relation to my actual writing, or if that's just a one-off, somebody. And like you said, it's not for them. It might not be for them.
Right. And I think the thing that other people pointed out, because at least for me, I think some writers can be very hard on themselves, but it's like you also missed out all this other good stuff they said about your story, and they said they liked your story. So you may give me a great burger and I love it, but like I really didn't like lettuce on it because I just don't like lettuce. Right? They're not saying the burger was terrible. I love the burger, but lettuce and mushrooms not my thing. I don't like it. It's too wet. No, thank you. Right? But they could have loved it. Like, no, give me the burger again. Just don't put lettuce and mushrooms on it, and we're good. It's like, okay,
which makes perfect sense. Yeah, it's like one piece of the pie or burger. Actually, that's what
yeah, but it's so easy to take it to heart. And I had read, from or listened to other authors, it was like, don't look at your reviews. And some people say do, but like, you gotta be careful because they can harm you. And so I think about also some of the big name authors as well. That was another thing to look at. Like, if you're feeling bad, remember, Sarah J. Maas gets bad reviews too. J.K. Rowling, Stephen King has had a bunch of bad
Stephen
reviews.
King. I was just gonna say that. You read.
People love these authors. And then I looked at one of my favorite authors. His name is DJ Mole. It's Molles. He writes in he writes in a number of categories, but I looked at him. He's one of the authors I got to read as an adult that got me back into reading, because school kind of took that away.
You mean
And
it crushed it?
right, right, yeah. And I looked, and they had a bad review. I'm like, you don't like this book? What? How is this possible? I can't. And so, it's okay. So, future writers out there, current writers, if you get a review, one, look at it to see, like, what's the good in here as well? Is there any truth? Is it just a person just saying? Is it just that they don't like mushrooms on their burger? And then move on from there. And keep a folder of all your positive stuff as well.
Which brings me to the second part of that. On your publishing journey, what made you think, "Oh, yes"?
So there are actually several. One, when my other half, she was listening to one of my audiobooks, and she said she had to remember that I was the person who wrote it. She had to constantly go back, like, oh, he wrote this. Right? And so that's from my other half, right? And then from a person who I met, a new writing friend, they're like, this helped open me up to fantasy. So, because they didn't read fantasy before. And like, I don't know if there's a much better there are a few compliments that can be better than that. There are a few compliments better than that. It makes me want to tear up, because now there's a whole new world, and I got to be a part of that. So, okay, maybe keep.
That is amazing. I have some friends that open me up to fantasy and some YA type writing too, and I just am so grateful, because before that I wasn't really into it, and it just really wasn't my thing. And then I started getting it, and now I'm like obsessed. Now I love it, so I can really relate to that feedback that you got, and it's just, yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So, writer's block happens. What's your guilty pleasure distraction when the words just won't come? If you believe in writer's block, or if it's just a distraction.
Crying into my coffee. That's what it feels like, at least. Goodness gracious. I do all the things that lots of people do. I stare at the screen. I question my writing ability. Hey guys, I'm just being open and honest here, because hopefully this will help other people who are going through the moment go through it, right? Like, it's okay. This happens, right? We can still write books through this. But, I go through those moments. I question myself, like, what's my writing ability? But time. So there's a couple things. Time can go. Taking a good nap for me resets my brain. That helps a lot. Really, really does. Let me sleep. Going outside somewhere or getting something nice to eat, not thinking about it. I mean, really, just not thinking about it, right? Watching something else or something else creative, that can help. And sometimes, I mean, there's been at least once where it's like, okay, it's been a week or two, but I was really overthinking it. And I've noticed sometimes that if I'm stuck, I might be trying too hard. And so if I take a step back and kind of relax the brain, it will come together. The other thing you can do is just try to write the next sentence in the right next sentence. The other thing that I've done before, and I picked this up from Dean Wesley Smith, and he mentions that Lee Child, the writer of the Reacher series, has also done a version of this. They do what's called churning or cycling, where they go back 500 words, or for Reacher, Lee Child, he goes back 1,000 words, and then you go through your manuscript. So in the past, I have, not always, right? But I've gone back through and started just trying to find different pieces. Like, well, what's going on here? Well, maybe I'll add a little bit more words here, or I'll delete a few words here, and then I'll just keep working through. And then I might catch my rhythm again. I might add a whole bunch of maybe a paragraph worth of new information that I didn't add before. And by that time that all happens, I'm ready to keep going. So once again, it's kind of step away. After I'm done with the tears, right? Step away, step away, step away. Give it some thought. Um, let stuff come to me. Nap, shower, something like that. Come back. Either try to just write the next words or go back and push forward.
3 great approaches to getting through that. Absolutely. So let's play producer. If your book had a trailer, what's the opening scene?
Oh boy. So I don't really, that's a really good question. That's a hard one for me. So I like the intensity scene. So I think for both Aaron and Ripley is the character from my fairy tale. I haven't talked about Ripley. Ripley's a great guy. But for Aaron, I think after the prologue, we see her in a bar scene and she is giving people the ear, basically. So it's not too bad, but like it's clear that she ain't one to mess with, right? And so that might be one. Either that or when she switches over to what's called the Forgotten Realms, because it's a beautiful place, dangerous, but vibrant colors. It's like a rainbow of colors. It's just super saturated oranges, reds. Like tree bark is like a marbling of blue and purple and oranges. The ground has blue crystals in it. Like I'm trying to think. There was a movie. Oh, I'm not going to remember the movie. Was it called Avatar? I don't know, but there's a movie where they went to some planet and they had bioluminescence and everything like that. It was a very beautiful planet. It's the same kind of idea. I forget what it was, a CGI movie, and I just can't think on it.
There was a movie. Wasn't I mean there is an Avatar one like that, but there's also oh, it doesn't matter because I can't remember what it is.
Okay. Chat, does anyone know what I'm talking about? I clearly don't know what I'm talking about.
But in the new Avatar one, they did go to some bioluminescent water, beautiful thing. So I mean, that would be a good example, I think.
Okay. Then yeah, I just wasn't sure if I was naming it correctly, but like it's just a beautiful environment. So and then just show one of the creatures she has to face right after, like her in the shadow of that creature. So have her walking through, then she stops. Oh, yeah. I think that would be it.
I like that. So, what's the weirdest or most unexpected feedback you've gotten from a reader?
So, I forgot to talk about Ripley and his scene, but I'll come back to that, or if we have time at the end. So I don't know if this is true, but I guess it's true. So I'm just saying yes. But I gave a book away for free via a app called Story Origin, and the person was talking about the town, and they said they knew the town. The town is a real town. It's based in a real city. So I was like, wait, do you actually know this city? Because they were making comments about. I was like, you know the actual city this is based in. That's awesome. What? Really? Nice. So one of the things I wanted to do was to hide the city, because it's a city I live in, right? So I wanted to bring some respect, and it's a small city. People don't know it has so much history. Like the birthplace of recording jazz happened here. A whole bunch of amazing things have happened in this city, but it's so small, people don't know. And so I just wanted to put it on the map. Like, let's put this town on the map. It's called Richmond, Indiana. I might as well say, I'm just saying the city. Like, I'm not afraid. Come find me, internet folks. I'm here.
I would have said it, but I was like, I'm not sure you want me to tell everybody your business.
Now, I appreciate it. I was like, oh, I should say. I'm like, well, it's the internet. People, someone will find out anyway. So
yeah, I've actually been to Richmond, and I love it there. It's so beautiful, and everything you're saying, those are all the things I went and ran around and did.
Nice. So I just wanted to put it on the map a little bit. Now, of course, it's fictional, so not all things are there, right? It's just all made up, right? Everything is made up. There are certain streets that exist, but everything is made up. I had to say that, right? Because I don't want anyone to say, hey, did you write me the story? No, you're not in the story. But I have made up characters.
That's those disclaimers at the beginning we put in.
Yeah. All the disclaimer, guys. all the disclaimers are in place here. Don't bother me about it.
There's an asterisk that you may want to go check out.
Yes, it's in 20-point font. Check that out. But yeah, that was the most exciting thing, seeing someone say that they knew about the town that I wrote in. And I was like, that's awesome. That's really awesome.
That's great feedback. I love that. Oh, how fun. Oh, I would love that. And it's good too. Like it's good feedback too. So you're just like, oh, good, thank goodness, yay. Because the party might have been like,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
like, no, I love that. You always hope for that. That's what I would always hope for too. If you could mash up your story with any other author's universe, whose world would collide with yours?
Oh, So it depends on. There's a lot I can say here. So, one, it depends on which series we're talking about. Because I have urban fantasy, like magic in the contemporary world, but also have dark epic fantasy or dark romantasy, however you want to call it. But I think for my fantasy stuff, The Witcher might be really good. For those who know, like kind of gritty fight scenes, a little morally gray, interesting folklore and monsters. I think that there was another author who I was reading. Oh, I was just listening to her. Oh, it's called like the Silver Underpinnings or something. Nivek. Hold on one second. But like her way of storytelling, that's from what I've seen, like that might be similar. Anyways, I can come back to it, but I know just off the back, The Witcher would be an easy example of my worlds would connect.
I think so. That'd be a great meshing for sure. Which book from your childhood still lives rent free in your head and maybe inspired you more than you realize?
Nice. Thank you for asking. So it's not necessarily a single book, but a series. There was a series called Goosebumps when I was growing up. And that was my favorite series, period. I spent all weekend on my grandparents' couch just reading a Goosebump book. So I think I had 60 books in there. And while I was interested in reading, I think that probably helped skyrocketed my reading ability because I just would sit there all weekend. And every time there was a Scholastic Book Fair, I would go to we didn't have a lot of money, so I would go to my grandparents, to my mom, definitely to my grandparents, and I would pitch them. I would pitch them hard. So I don't know why I can't pitch people who try to get my books, but I would pitch these books hard. I'm like, they'll help me to read better. There's 3 books here instead of 1. You can save this much amount of money with it. I'll get this. I mean, this is just a really good deal. I think you should do this. I would pitch them so hard.
That's like the author's plight right there. Like, you nailed that. Like we can pitch everyone else, but ourselves we're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Huh? And R.L. Stine, I don't know if you know this. So they've been revamping or whatever they call it, some of the Goosebumps series on television, and they had he makes like these cameo appearances in them.
Oh, he's like the Spike Lee of the books. Yes, I love it. I love it.
Yes, and when I saw him, I went, huh, look! And my husband goes, who? He's not much of a reader. It was just funny because I started laughing. I went, oh, I was totally geeking out right now. Never mind. It's just.
Well, I love R.L. Stine. I know I brought that up. I remember someone asked your favorite book. I think someone asked in high school. I think someone probably chuckled about it, but I was like R.L. Stine. And to this day, I go back to like R.L. Stine was at that point in time, I mean, you have a kid sit down and read 60 books? Like, it wasn't until I had graduated college that I found another author whose books DJ Mole, who I mentioned earlier, I sat down and literally read page after page after page, just like, oh, all right, done. Next book. Oh, okay, done. There are a few authors who I've had that with. DJ Mole, or Mole, or how Mole, I think it said. I try to throw an accent in there randomly, so I don't know. I don't know, Matt Denneman's with his Dungeon Crawler Carl. I've read so many of those books. I listened to the audiobooks. They are fantastic. I just finished the last one. I think it was like 26 hours. I think I'm 7 books in. Yeah, his books aren't like short, so I just think, man, finding authors who you enjoy is great. William D. Rand is another one. I knew him from his Honor of Duty, I forget what it's called. It's a great book. Anyways, I'm rambling on now. There are so many authors. I just want to give them props too, because they make me want to read. And now, because I'm a writer, because I listen to them, my writing gets better. You know, like
There's something to be said about that. When you write, what you read will come through you because you're starting to learn like a flow and patterns, and you'll see where you were kind of, maybe not you necessarily, I mean you in general, all of us, right? Start seeing like, oh, I see what this author did here. Oh, that's a good thing. I should try that. You start to kind of see where maybe you misstepped, or maybe didn't misstep, but maybe just didn't find a connection that could really just propel your story into like the greatest epic story ever.
yeah. It's it's like, oh, I didn't realize I could do that. There is a guy. So there are two. I'll think of these as on opposite sides of the spectrum. Mark Lawrence, he wrote Red Sister, Gray Sister, and then I think maybe something that's pretty grim dark fantasy. Very he writes more towards like how I want to write. Like there's, I don't know how to describe it. It's poetic in a way. I'm trying to be super poetic, but like there's poetic like flourishes, and it's so well done. But then there's another guy, and I can't think of his name right now, but like his stuff is just very very short and to the point. And he actually wrote a book about writing, and it was like my people just want to have fun, just quick dialogue, like I barest amount of description, humor. Like it was such a different way of storytelling than almost all the different books that I've seen. Not just the Mark Lawrence, who I find in special category, but like all the books I've seen. I'm like from what is that called? Sarah J. Maas's first book. From that to Mark Lawrence to Matt Denneman, like all the other people, they've had this level of description or whatever, and his is just like not that. It's just completely different. I'm like, there's a range. There are a range of readers. You have to figure out who your readers are. But if it's in fiction, you can do it. You just gotta find your people. You can put it out there. You just gotta find your people. Tell the story.
Oh, great. That is great. So before we wrap, let's tell our viewers, what project are you working on right now that you secretly, or not so secretly, obsessed with? You sort of touched on it at the beginning, but I want to hear a little bit more, if you can spare. Pretty please.
Yes, yes. So the heart of the Forgotten Realm is what I've been working on. The short story that was supposed to be done in a few weeks. 7 months later. 8 months later of work.
Relatable.
Yeah. I once I got past the 5,000 mark, I was like, all right, maybe this will be a little bit longer. I was like, let's really try to streamline this towards everything that's going on with romantasy right now. And then as I kept writing, I was like, this isn't feeling quite right. So I started, and I listened to some of the critiques that people were having about romantasy, and I was like, Adetokunbo, go just write your story. And so I've written a slow burn romance, dark fantasy romance story, right? So it's very fantasy forward first, but the romance is there. But I have characters. I don't know if Shannon is watching this or not, but I know she talks about her characters having scars, and like these characters have scars. If there's going to be a romance, it can't be instant snap, this is on. Not for this character. If I'm trying to write characters that are somewhat realistic, I want you to see that growth and that development. And when things happen, you're like, that's perfect. That's what should happen. That's correct. That's honest. That's real. And I'm so here for it. I'm glad you put it that way. That's what I want to do. I want the moments to matter. And so that will be having his own process. But when I look at the story, like there's a lot, I guess, of themes under it. So I talked about all the action and like, oh yeah, she's feisty, she's going against what the order is doing because the order isn't doing all it could be doing, right? But you start looking at it, it's like, what does it cost? Questions of sacrifice. What does it cost to protect people, to protect the people who other people look away from? What are you willing to do to follow your code, to do what you think is right?
Sort of like her inner dialogue, like what's
Yeah.
she thinking in herself? What is her quandary? Which way she, would it be more natural for her to tackle it and just rally the troops and do what she's got to do? That probably makes the most sense. But there's also that alternative too, like in that inner conflict, right? Because then she's going, well, I'm really trying to lean towards. I love that.
Yeah. So there's a lot of internal mechanisms that are going on for her, and so I think with this story, I try to bridge like kind of connection between like action pace elements, but like it's undergirded by deep character depth, basically, character depth. So there's lots of questions, and it's always a question like, how much is she willing to grow and change, and what is she willing to do? Can she open her heart again? Can she see again? And you just kind of explore this through the characters is in the backdrop. So yeah.
That. So I hope you guys are about as excited as this new work of fiction that Adeshile is working on, because I know I'm very excited. Would you like
Thank
to
you.
tell? Thank you for being here so much. You are such a treasure. Would you
Appreciate it.
like to tell the audience, the viewers, where they can connect with you and where we can buy your books?
Okay. Well, Adeshile Writes, Adeshile, that Writes, AdeshileWrites.com. You can send me an email. You can follow me on Amazon. On Amazon, I'm Adeshile. But yeah, usually I'm just on the writer tubes, but find me on the website, shoot me an email, AdeshileWrites@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. Let me make sure there's not a period in there, and I don't think there is, but I'm always welcome to hear people that are to talk to potential readers or other authors, willing to share books, stories, advice, all that good stuff. Maybe you just want to find myself just to buy it, Amazon. But let me make sure I'm telling you the right email address, because I gotta make sure that's right.
No, we don't want anything kickback. So
Yep. So it's Adeshile period right at gmail.com. And really, usually, if you put Adeshile on it, you'll probably find me. You put Adeshile in the MoonWatch series, you'll probably find me.
I've already been following you on your Amazon author page too, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes, of course, of course. I love how you write, and I think your personality and the care and love you put into your characters and the storytelling itself, it's really great. And that's why I wanted to have you on today. So I just want to make sure everyone knows about you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being with us today. Mwah. We are out. That'll do it for us today. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.